If you've been trying to purchase your first home in Halifax over the last few years, you probably remember the chaos. Blind bidding wars on almost every property, skipping inspections, frantically writing offers in parking lots after showings, and watching home prices seemingly skyrocket overnight. It felt exhausting, right? Well, I have some incredible news for you. The market has shifted, and the window you've been officially waiting for is finally here. Inventory is up by 24% compared to just 4 weeks ago. We now have 1,214 active single-family listings on the market. At the same time, the median sold price has eased as well. So what does this mean for you? It means for the most part, Halifax buyers now have enough room to think and make informed decisions. In today's video, I'm breaking down 3 major advantages you have right now that would have been almost impossible just a few years ago. And be sure to stick around to the last one because it might be one that you didn't expect. My name is Zach Surratt, and I am a real estate agent in the city of Halifax and Halifax Regional Municipality, and you're watching Halifax Home Guide. Now, if you're considering purchasing your first home in Halifax and don't know where to start, you are not alone. There's simply way more to cover than I could just do within a 5-minute YouTube video. So if you're interested in connecting, you can click the link in the description and book a free no obligation 30-minute phone call with me, where we can set up a plan that will help you get into your first home. Advantage number 1, you can now look at 10 homes, compare them, and sleep on it before you make a decision. Back in 2022, if a house hit the market on a Thursday, you had to go look at it by Friday morning and probably submit your highest and best offer by Friday night, often without knowing what might come up in the next week. Today, with over 1,200 active single-family listings, you aren't forced into immediate panic buying. You actually have some choices. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still some homes that are selling quickly with multiple offers, but it is nothing compared to what it used to be. And the average amount over asking is much less as well. When you have time to visit multiple properties and compare the price tags, layout, and neighborhood, you regain control. Buyers who take time to compare typically end up paying closer to fair market value, rather than throwing crazy high numbers just to win a bidding war. Advantage number 2 is huge for peace of mind. You can keep conditions in your offers again, and have a reasonable amount of time in order to meet those conditions. Remember when buyers were waiving home inspections and financing just to get their offer accepted? For a first-time homebuyer, that was absolutely terrifying and incredibly risky with the biggest purchase of your life. Just last week alone, 131 listings sat conditional. That proves that financing clauses and thorough home inspections are becoming common practice once again. You don't have to roll the dice on a leaky roof or an uninsurable electrical panel just to get the keys to the home. Now, advantage number 3, potentially the most exciting, that thing that you couldn't do before, which is you can actually negotiate. Because inventory has grown and buyer urgency has gone down, listings are starting to stay on the market longer. In fact, so far this month, which would be between July 1st and July 25th, we have seen over 800 price changes across the Halifax-Dartmouth region. Now think about that for a second. Over 800 sellers had to adjust their expectations because the market is rebalancing. When a house sits on the market for 4 to 8 weeks, seller psychology completely changes. In the first week or 2, sellers are typically holding out for top dollar. But when the listing reaches that 1 to 2 month mark, those are where the best conversations and negotiations can happen. Now, I'm not saying go out there and just throw a lowball offer and see what happens, because what I can tell you from experience is that usually does not work out very well. But look at the comparable sales in the area and try to find a reasonable number and simply go from there. Sellers who have been sitting on the market for a little while typically are much more interested in negotiating on price and closing dates. This gives you, as the first-time homebuyer, a little bit more leverage to negotiate a fair price or terms that work in your favor. So let's sum it up. You have more inventory and time to compare options. You can protect your hard earned money with financing and inspection clauses. And sellers are open to a real negotiation, especially on homes sitting past the 4-week mark. This isn't a market crash, but it's a healthy rebalancing. And historically, these quiet balance windows are where smart buyers make their best moves. If you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for the right moment, this could be a sign to start looking again. If you want to see what homes in your budget look like in Halifax, Dartmouth, or surrounding areas, feel free to reach out to me directly. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below about what it was like buying your first home. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.